Hey everybody, it's a little windy. I hope it doesn't mess up the recording, but we'll try it out. So I'm just kind of showing you right now what I saw in a dream. I'm going to go over an old dream, and then I don't know if it's going to be on the same video or the next video, but I have a dream that I believe the Lord is telling me is about to come to pass again, of 3 tornadoes, of a whirlwind. You know, the Lord comes in a whirlwind. And so I have that dream as well, but it doesn't have anything to do with this, what you're looking at. So the first one does. In the first dream, this was like one of my very first dreams. I used to have a post on here, but it was before I really understood like how to get God's interpretation rather than man's like symbolic, full-on symbolic interpretation. Even though they can be similar a lot of the time, but I feel like mine now has a more rounded approach to it, and I understand it a lot better. So I'm going to go back over that. I took the video down either way, so this will be new, and I feel like they're all coming to pass now. That's what the Lord told me, that all of these things are now, the timelines have started on them, and so whatever that means or whenever that means, they've begun. And I received the word hell today several times, and I have a vision that goes along with the whirlwind's dream that has to do with the hail and everything too. So I feel like we're about to have like either it's going to be global or just like countries wide, like a storm, like a really bad storm. I don't know, it's like, okay, so the timeline would go, this is just random, but I feel like I should add this in here, but it would go, the storm, hail, the storm, the lightning storm, the signs in the sky, which we've already seen, and I'm wondering where the storm's at. So the storm might be behind that. The 3 days of signs, or 2 to 3 days of signs, and oh, it's crazy. I actually had a vision of this grass blowing like this, and I knew that it was time. So whenever I had another vision, and whenever it was time, the grass was blowing exactly like it is right now. And that's wheat growing up in there too. There's barely any wheat. It's just a bunch of tares, which is funny. But, so, yeah, and then after that, 3 days of signs, it would be 3 days of darkness. The Lord revives you by the 3rd day, and He visits you, and the children are taken. Hold on, I know, you slept good. I'm doing a video. Okay, let me finish recording it real quick. Do you want to come out here with your brother? I'm sorry, we got the kids on trampoline, which is really cool. Let me start the dream. Okay guys, so in this dream I came to this house that I knew was in my home, and I knew that just as a knowing in the dream. I knew it was my home, and I came in and or I had let some girls in actually. I don't know who they were, and I have not gotten any kind of interpretation on these women, and I'm not really sure what that's about yet. It must be just to be revealed later. The Lord will do that, you know, in layers, precept upon precept. But I let these people in, and some went upstairs, and some came inside, and I'm not really sure if this was some sort of like get together or something, but I know that after we were inside, they were like, oh, I love your shoes, and I was like, thanks, I love them too. And that's where I have a mud room that holds shoes and like backpacks and jackets. Like my entry area I made into a mud room myself when we moved in here, and which is really cool because now that is where we put all of our shoes. And guys, I'll explain in a minute, but I'm living here at the house that was in the dream. That's where I'm living right now. I actually moved 2 months. I had no idea I was moving. Didn't plan on it. Still had a lease. Didn't plan on moving, and something came up because we put in a ceiling fan ourselves, and it terminated the lease. And they were like, take the ceiling fan down, or you're gonna have to leave. So we were like, nah, let's just, you know, find a new house. And we did. We wanted something better, and I found this whenever I was looking at townhomes, and I could not believe that I walked into the house in my dream, and I was like, oh, I have to get this one. I don't care if I like it or not. But I ended up loving it. So that's why we're here. Okay, and when before we did not have this trampoline. Did not have him. I'm trying not to have him in it a lot because, you know, YouTube's regulations with the kids and all. But his back was showing, so. He's playing with eggs. It's so sweet. He just loves those eggs. So I didn't have the trampoline in the dream. When I first moved in here. My son got it for Christmas, okay? And so after we made the mention of the shoes, I was outside. I remember being outside. There was a woman out there with me, maybe other women, I'm not sure, but I know one other woman was out there with me. And the kids were jumping on a trampoline. There was no fence though. That's the one thing is, I need to look that up now. I haven't thought about that. But there was no fence in the dream. Just these rolling hills. Rolling hills. Look up the word rolling in the Strong's Concordance and then just do all the scriptures on that and tell me what you find. There's some interesting stuff there about rolling of the scroll and of Resurrection Day. But we're out there, the kids are jumping on the trampoline, and we're all like, oh my gosh, look up. So we looked up, and in the sky, over here to my right, was these stars that they looked like they were coming toward us. Okay, they were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, oh look, that's cool. That's kind of how, let me see if I can get that in the shot. Can you see it? That is so how they looked. Like they looked like they were coming toward me like that. And then all of a sudden they like shot backwards. Okay, they like sucked back up into the sky, and then it made a grid pattern across the sky. Okay, of the stars. They made a grid pattern, which I found to be Skynet, okay, which is 5G, and how 5G's ran is the towers are on the ground, but they're connected to low orbiting satellites, okay, low orbiting satellites, so pretty much drones. They're connected to drones, and if you look it up and stuff, they're mainly connected to just drones, and then they're connected to the satellites, which is real interesting. So that's what they're setting up with this 5G. So he showed me Skynet, which I didn't know for a long time. I didn't know what that meant. And then I could see like planetary bodies up in the sky, a second moon, and a few other things were in the sky. But then all of a sudden, coming from my right hand side again, fireballs started coming down. And everyone was like oohing and awing in the sky, and no one seemed panicked until the fireballs started coming down. And I saw one hit like right by this light pole, and I turned around to like run and get the kids from this trampoline that's here. It's so crazy because we got it as a gift, guys. Like, I mean, I never even thought about it until after we got it, and I was like, oh wait, that was in the dream. It's coming true. Like, so there's more exciting parts at the end though. So sorry, I'm like holding in on him. Look at you, buddy. You're crawling so good. Good job. Yeah. He's getting lonely. I better hurry. Okay, so I grabbed all the kids, right? And then this other lady was standing. Okay, guys, and then there was a basement window right here that the kids could climb through, and this lady was like feeding the kids in there, okay? And there was kids, but I hadn't had my second son yet and did not plan on having any more kids. And so, like, there was only like 2-3 kids out there, and so 2 of them were mine, and I had no idea that I was having another child, which is so crazy because I've had dreams where I thought my son was a baby again, and because he's almost 6 now, and yeah, he's definitely not. So and then I turn around and I run to go to my door, okay. And I go to my door, sorry, he just started crawling and he broke that just the other day, and I haven't all fixed it. And so I go to this door, and the lady that was there with me won't let me in. And I get all of a sudden this feeling that dude, she's not cool with me. Like, she's not gonna let me in. Like, she's gonna let me die out here. And I'm like, turned around and I'm like, Lord, what do I do? My kids are inside, you know? Like, she's got my kids. And I was like freaking out, right? And there's no fence. But all of a sudden, this white car comes driving up here. This white car comes driving up here, and this guy like opens the door from the other side and is like, "Get in!" And so I get into the car, and as I'm in the car, he's driving off. Like he just like drives off and goes like, I'm talking and I'm doing stuff, so I don't notice where he's going. And as I'm in the car, there's all these like baby screens, you know, for the window to keep like the sun out. And I start pulling all of them down, okay? And there's some on the back windshield. There's some on everything, even the little triangle windows, okay? And so I pull the last one down on the triangle window, which is crazy because I think that's symbolic of the 3 days of darkness, possibly. And I'm like, okay, I think we're safe in here. They're persecuting Christians out there. And that's exactly the words I said, okay? And so this guy's like, no, you're safe, you're good. So we keep driving, and all of a sudden, we're like trying to find somewhere that we could go in and like take shelter. And we find this like oil rig looking place that like, I'm almost done, baby, that like works on cars or something. And he goes in to make sure it's safe, and he never comes back out. And so he never comes back out. Hang on, what are you doing? You're silly. Oh man. I'm sorry. Guys, it's been so hard to record videos lately, like, but the Lord told me, gave me the word make haste, and to get these videos out whenever he told me I need to remake them. And so I'm trying to hurry and do that, but it takes forever for them to like approve them, copyright and all that, and I haven't, I don't know. It's crazy, guys. YouTube, everything's getting crazy. So the guy never comes back out, and I'm like, okay, Lord, what do I do? Like, I don't know how to get back. My kids are at my house, like, with some crazy person that wouldn't let me in. What do I do, you know? And all of a sudden, it's dark as heck outside. Like, you can't see anything. And the, like, okay, so, like, the road lights up. It just lights up with the light. Hang on, buddy. Hang on, sweetie. I'm right here. Hold on, okay? I'm almost done. So, the roads light up with like a light, alright? So he lit my path, guys. It was so cool. Like, he's the light to my path. So he lit my path to get back. And I get back, no one's blocking the door. I go inside, I look for my kids. It's like quiet. There's a lady or someone, okay, that looks very similar to me, and I don't know why, looks like me, dead on the ground, or unconscious on the ground, one of the two, whenever I walk in. And then I hear a noise, but it's my son, and he's coming up from the stairs. And so he comes back, and I'm like, we're like scared. And so I hear another noise, so we run and go hide in the bathroom. But my son's breathing so loud and stuff, like we're gonna get caught. And all of a sudden that girl just like comes up to the door and like looks at me. And so I'm not really sure what the ending is about, but it's the seals breaking, guys. And the main thing I wanted to get out today, okay, is I'm sure y'all see the symbolism in this, right? The Skynet. He showed me, you know, that I was going to move into this house, that I was going to get this trampoline, and then I ended up getting a white car that the person drove up in, and then I crashed it, which he gave me a dream that I crashed my car, and I crashed it this week, guys. Like, almost all of my stuff is coming true this week. It's really crazy. Like, so many things are just coming true. And, but guys, there's another part of the dream. So in the very beginning of the dream, like, I remember whenever I was, like, I remember that this house had this really cool cul-de-sac. And that on the road for my house, there was just a bunch of cul-de-sacs on it. And I thought that was cool. I've never seen that before. But this place does not have that, like that. There's, like, one cul-de-sac. And I'm moving, okay? Now, I'm moving to a place that's called Mayberry, that's after Andy Griffith's show, and it's modeled after the town that they lived in, and it's all cul-de-sacs. And so I'm moving into this all cul-de-sacs, and I live on the corner of Salem and Church Street that's connected to Griffith Street, and the number that I live in is, oh, I can't even tell y'all that, dang. I can't really tell y'all that. But either way, it's so significant. Like, It's pretty much saying that the church, peace be with you, church, you're flying away. Like, we're flying away, guys. And you know what day I'm to move into this house? The day after Easter. The day after Easter, guys. I don't know what that symbolizes, man. But he sure has shown me this house. And this has come true, okay? And clearly, you know, things have been positioned to look like the dream. Okay, and a lot of it was symbolic, okay? But a lot of it, I think that was a real event. I think this was a real event, guys. I really do. And parts of it, and I think the other parts like symbolize, because like I know I'm coming back, you know, afterwards. So once the 3 days of darkness goes or whatever, and I think that there was like Jesus in the car, and I'm not really sure what happened, but I was afraid when Jesus left, you know. And then I called back out to him, and he showed me the path, right? So to get back to my children, okay, back to my children who went into hiding, okay, who went into the basement. They were kept hidden in secret and safe. So where do you think they went? Where do you think those kids went when the sixth seal opened? Where do you think I went when I got into the car? You know? And then I came back. And then I followed his path of where he wanted me to go, that he lit up for me. And I did what I needed to do. And I got back to my kids who were up in heaven. That's where they went. They went to heaven, guys. It was a rapture. It was a rapture for sure. So just have your spirit lifted, guys. I mean, I'm moving out on the 13th, or I start moving out on the 13th. And I'm moving over a week. So we plan to live there by Saturday, the next Saturday. But if you think about it, the Jews have like that second Passover, and so that's all open too, because the Lord's been showing me a lot about that second Passover and how it relates to people that didn't ready themselves fully. And so that could be just like several of the rapture of the bride, rapture of the 144,000, rapture of the repentant, and then like the 40 day. But all right, love you guys. Be excited. Bye.